Hi, welcome to the John Brown Alliance, where we don't fear, we fight. We need 5 million people to get down to Washington, D.C. on June 6th. The reason for this is because we need to finally take a stand against this American fascism that has taken over our country. I'm hoping everybody can make there. If you can't, we understand. Otherwise, this might be our final chance. We can't depend on the judicial system when they have no way to enforce any type of contempt charges. Our judicial system cannot arrest anyone right now because right now every law enforcement agency is under Donald Trump, basically. Now, we must assume also that ICE agents are now the goon squad, and in some cases, Blackwater. So if you get approached by someone who can't give their badge number or name, you need to call your local law enforcement immediately and have them on speed dial. So you can have some witness in your state, especially blue states, that can ask these people questions. Full stop. So I would like to say that tonight that people should step up or shut up, in all honesty. I've seen a lot of podcasts where they were talking about black people not showing up and turning out for these protests. I've seen protests where they're majority white people, and that's fine. I've seen videos where people are telling black people to sit this one out. I don't agree with that at all. Since 1492, at least part of my family have been Homeland Security for the United States of America. Then came the white man and enslaved black people. Since 1492 and 1619, the only people who have gained any rights in America is white people. So what you should do is do us a huge solid and shut the fuck up when it comes to that. Right now, every person has to make his own personal choice. Some of us served in the military. Some of us were civil rights leaders. Some of us were just lay citizens. But we have to decide for our parents and our children over the next few months, or maybe next few days, if we want to survive this and how. I intend to be here long after the people that are talking shit are gone. And as a Native American, as a black American, and a white American, I have. The thing with people of color is we know the assignment, and we always go by the assignment. And every generation, we're told the assignment by our fathers and our mothers and our grandmothers, our grandfathers. And we're told the stories generation by generation, how our struggle led to us being here. White people don't have that generational wealth. Everything for them is based on money, or it's based on clicks on YouTube, or how many people like them. My podcast, the John Brown Alliance, is for those people who have nothing to lose. So don't fall for the okie doke. 250 years ago, the first person to die on this continent for the revolution that allowed all these white people, including Donald Trump, to come here as immigrants and occupy this nation. That first death was a man named Crispus Attucks in Massachusetts. Since then, black and indigenous people have done nothing more than defend this land that never defended them. In 1915, Woodrow Wilson played Birth of a Nation inside the White House and loved it. 5 miles away from where I live right now is the Woodrow Wilson Bridge, erected for this man. Birth of a Nation was a movie that made the Ku Klux Klan look like heroes of the American people, because they personified black people as hungry animals just going after white women and raping them and robbing everyone. And so the airing of that movie led to an influx and membership just growing in the Ku Klux Klan. From 1915 till we threw them out of Washington, D.C. in 1990s. That movie feeded Jim Crow laws, racial discrimination, lynchings, killings, drownings, rape, and every kind of atrocity that white America now fears under Donald Trump. But yet, we've been dealing with that for hundreds of years. The new OKIE they want you to fall for is this whole MS-13 thing and this gang thing. Kilmar Garcia represents the new white birth of a nation. I have lived my entire life almost in the same county and state that he was abducted from. There are no roving gangs of MS-13 running around Prince George's County abducting and raping women. Not at all. As a matter of fact, before MS-13 was even thought of, I was born. I remember when they arrived here. I remember that. I remember the first MS-13 tag I ever seen. But what I remember about MS-13 is all the people from El Salvador that worked as iron workers building bridges for America and buildings and putting up steel frames that fled El Salvador because they did not want to join MS-13. I heard stories about people's uncles and fathers' heads being chopped off and put on stakes in El Salvador, where Donald Trump is about to send American citizens. They were working on jobs I was working on in construction. So what Kilmar Garcia is, to me, is another construction worker, demonized by white people the same way that black people were demonized by the movie Birth of a Nation. And if you're white in America and you voted for Donald Trump and you haven't seen that movie and the implications of it, you are a very sick and uneducated individual. There is a new okey-doke, as I call it, and that okey-doke is MS-13. When I walk out of my door in the morning and me and my mom drive off places, we don't see MS-13. We don't see tattoos and colors. I see elderly white people with their half-black grandchildren in the grocery store in Prince George's County, from where Mr. Garcia was abducted. I see Latino families in grocery stores buying food. That's what I see. I have lived here now, in this particular space, for a hot minute. I have not seen a gun out here anywhere in Prince George's County. So for all you idiots living in places like OKIE in Southern Maryland that voted for Donald Trump, called people ragheads and all these other things, that thought, you were doing something good for your community, how's that working out for you? Once this revolution gets underway, please, I'm going to remember your faces, every last one of you that called every name and cast me out of your circle because I didn't vote for Donald Trump. Don't expect us to help you, because it's getting ready to be every man for himself and God for us all. And I don't believe in God, not your God. So let's get started. This is John Brown Alliance. Until next time.